8th standard. Dear students, now in the chapter of geographical features and prehistoric India. In the last video, we have discussed about what is prehistoric age and who are the archaeologists, isn't it? And what is residential sites and also industrial sites. So these are the points we have discussed in the last class. So let us recapitulate one by one and later get into the today's class. So in the last class, as I told you that what is prehistoric age? Yes, the prehistoric age in the sense the discovery of art writings is called prehistoric age. And also, how do we come to know this? In the prehistoric, how the people are led their life and how did we come to know about living of people in the prehistoric age? Yes, because of the archaeologists. Because there are no proofs, there are no records, we did not get any records of the linguistic development and as well as the scripts of any books, isn't it? So that is why, because of the help of the archaeologists, we have come to know that there are people are led their life in the prehistoric age. So who are the archaeologists then? Yes, the archaeologists are called there are the scholars who studied about the prehistoric age. These people we call it as a archaeologist. And the archaeologists they are told that they have discovered that they are gathering the food and they have made different kind of tools by using the stone, wood and as well as bones, and they created the handles, isn't it? So, and these are also things we have discussed in the last video. And also we have discussed about the residential sites and also industrial sites. What is meaning of the industrial sites? So industrial sites in the sense that the area where the people are started making the different kinds of tools by using the stones, that area we call it as a industrial sites. And also, what is residential sites? Residential sites in the sense where the area where the people are led their life, where long time, those places we call it as a residential sites. So residential sites and the industrial sites we have learnt it in the last class. And in India also there are important places are there, Bimtakal and Unsagi and also Karnool. Is it? These are the things we have discussed in the last class. So today's class is all about the knowledge of the fire and drawing found in the caves, and also the next one is the changing environment. So let us start today's class, the knowledge of fire. As you all know that in the earlier the people are how they were gathering the food by the hunting, because by using the handles they hunt the animals, and by different kinds of tools are being used to peel the skin and as well as separate the flesh of the animals, isn't it? So usually they basically after the hunting, how do they eat, isn't it? So according to the sign of the ashes have been obtained in the caves of the Karnool. So according to that, by the sign of the ashes, so the archaeologists have discovered the ashes that is found in the cave of the Karnool. So according to that proof, the archaeologists have told that the prehistoric people, I mean in the stone age, the people have the knowledge of the fire. Okay, how to use the fire, because there might be probably they use the fire they used the fire for the cook, and they used the fire as a light, and they used the fire as a frightening of animals. So because of the signing of the ashes found in the cave of the Karnool, so according to this, they might be have the knowledge of the fire. Okay, so after that, drawings found in the caves. So these students, drawing found in the caves, these in the stone age, I mean prehistoric age, these drawings depict some of the facts. What are the facts? Might be they have how to hunt the animals, how to do the hunting, and also how to do the hunting for the wild animals. These kind of drawings have been found in some of the cases, especially in the Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Karnataka. Okay, so according to this drawing, and we have come to know about their lifestyle. Okay, so knowledge of the fire and drying found in a cave. So these are the things, these are the proofs are telling us how the lifestyle of the prehistoric is, and also the Stone Age, how the Stone Age, how the people have led their life. So these are the facts have been, we have come to know, the people have led their life in a prehistoric age or in a Stone Age. Okay, and next point is, students, the changing of environment. So changing of environment also supported the people have started growing and also started changing their in a lifestyle. As you all know that in the prehistoric age and in the Stone Age, the people called as nomads, they move from place to place in the searching of food, isn't it? And also they have settled their life in a rocky areas, and in the rocky areas because of the, especially in the bank of rivers or lakes, isn't it? And also by using the stones, they have started making tools, and by that tools have been used to hunt the animals. So after the several years, so in the major change took place in the 12,000 years ago. So before 12,000 years ago, there was a changes in the environment. What were the changes? So the Earth's temperature has been increased. So Earth's temperature has been increased, and also that temperature has been increased, and that leads to the development of the grassland. So there are a number of grasslands has been found. So we are talking about the 12,000 years ago. Okay, and also so birds and animals began to multiply. So birds and animals began to multiply. They have started in a reproduction, and also they have began to multiply, because as you all know that the grassland, by using in the grassland there are different kinds of animals and birds are that was a shelter. Okay, so when this changes, when this change took place in the 12,000 years ago, automatically that changes was the temperatures completely increased. The grasslanders, there are a number of grasslanders started grow in the field. Okay, and that in the grasslands there are a number of birds and animals that took shelter. The animals began to multiply. I mean, they started mingled in the reproduction process. In the reproduction process, because of the grassland, this was that was a shelter of the animals and birds. So they started developing. I mean, started mingling in a reproduction. So in this process, they increased. The birds and animals numbers has been increased. Okay, and also animals like deer, elk, goats, sheep prospered in these grasslands. I mean, these kind of animals are commonly in the grasslands. Okay, and humans started to observe their nature, food habits, and the way these animals are multiplied. As we know, dear students, so this was the major part where people started thinking and started changing his lifestyle. So when in the environment the changes was there was a natural changes. I mean, earth and temperature was increased. That leads to the development of grassland. So when the grassland is developed, so that was a shelter of the animals and birds. And when the animals and birds are mingled in the reproduction and they began to multiply. Okay, so especially called deer, elk, and goats and sheep. So this process or these all the things was observed by the humans. I mean, what are the things he has observed by the birds and animals? So he has observed their nature and how they were collecting the foods, how do they eat, how do they survive their life, and also food habits. What kind of food habits the animals and birds follows. Okay, and the way these animals are multiplied. How do they mingle in the reproduction? These are the things were absorbed by the humans. Okay, that leads to the development of the human beings. The prehistoric people started observing the animals and birds of their nature, of their food habits, and also how they had been multiplied. Okay, so and also after the observing, these started some of the changes over the period of time. They have captured the animals and birds. I mean, they have captured and they started rearing the animals. Rearing this is they have started animals start ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. They started rearing the animals, and also that leads to the animals husbandry and dairy. Okay, so later he had noticed, and also he has noticed that some of the grass bearing grains had grown naturally. So he has in the nature he has started observing the nature, and also he has noticed some of the grass bearing grains had grown naturally, and also he has learned as use of them as food, like especially rice, wheat and barley. So he has noticed that rice, wheat, barley, as these grains had grown naturally in the nature. Later he has learned that growing of these kinds of grains or cereals. Okay, and also later he has also learned that how to catch the fish in a sea or water. So these are the things he has started observing, and also he has learned it in the earlier days. So after this very important topic, this old stone age, the old stone age has been divided like this. So old stone age, prevalent 2 million years ago it has started, and also it stretched over a period of 12,000 years ago. Okay, and this has been the archaeologist has been divided into three era. I mean, old stone age, the middle stone age, and the new stone age. The old stone age, and also it is going to be classified the earlier and middle and the late old age. Okay, so regarding this there is a video, so we can watch it and let us see.
Archaeologists have obtained ashes in the caves of Kurnool. This reveals the awareness and the use of fire by the people of the prehistoric age to cook food, for light, and for safety from animals. Also, drawings of wild animals and of hunting have been found on the walls of caves and on rocks. Even today, cave drawings can be seen in sites located in Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and Karnataka. It is believed that 12,000 years ago, a major change took place in the world's environment, which led to the gradual increase in the Earth's temperature. This led to the development of grasslands in many places, and birds and animals began to multiply in unprecedented numbers. Man, who had been hunting animals till then, started observing their nature, food habits, and how these animals reproduced. Gradually, man captured these animals, and the practices of animal husbandry and dairy farming began. Along with animal husbandry, man also learned to fish in streams and lakes. Man had noticed how some grass-bearing grains grew naturally. Man learned to use them as food grains, and cereals like rice, wheat, and barley were obtained from such plants. Gradually, he learned to grow these crops, and thus the practices of farming began in the prehistoric age. The age which prevailed 2 million years ago is the oldest age and is called the Old Stone Age. It stretched over a period of 12,000 years. This long duration has been broken into 3 stages, namely the Early Stone Age, Middle Stone Age, and Late Old Stone Age. Now let us take a look at each of these stages in detail. The period from 12,000 years to around 10,000 years is called the Middle Stone Age. During this age, Small and delicate stone implements and handles have been made from delicate stones for weapons. The new Stone Age began after 10,000 years. The stone weapons made during this period were bright and had sharp blades. People of this age used grinding stones for grinding leaves and herbs, and for powdering grains and cereals. Some pots and pans of this period have been found, some of which have been decorated. People of this age also weaved cloth. Let us now recap all the important points that we have covered in this module on geographical features and prehistory of India.
This is all about today's class, dear students. So here your chapter ends. So let us meet in the next class. Thank you, Ananda.